Content warning for movie spoilers, sexual themes, violence, gore, profanity, and horror elements. Welcome to Discount Storytime, literature's finest dumpster fire. This week's episode is Hokey Pokey Hospital of Horror, a parody of the 1973 horror movie Horror Hospital. I put a link to information about it on their IMDb page on the show notes. Also, just to let you know, we are still looking for a sponsor, and this episode is giving some subtle product placements to Kohler faucets, just to give the folks at Kohler a taste of what this show can do for them. And with all that said, enjoy! A luxurious stretch AMC Gremlin waited on a gravel road by the woods. Inside the plush interior, the sinister Dr. Christian Storm, wearing black leather gloves, a fine suit, and a blanket on his legs, sat beside his shabbily dressed and much shorter assistant, Frederick. The evil Dr. Storm said to the driver, "Not yet. The escapees will show soon." Sure enough, a moment later, a man and woman in their early 20s, with bloodied head bandages, burst out of the woods and ran away from the luxurious car. Frederick pointed excitedly and bounced in his seat. Dr. Storm barked, "Now!" And the car was taken to laser wash this morning, so don't make a mess. The AMC Gremlin gave chase. When it reached the running escapees, Frederick pulled a lever, and a large blade and burlap net poked out from the side of the car. The car sped, swerved next to the couple, and the razor-sharp blade sliced through their necks, lopping off their bloodied and bandaged heads and catching them in the burlap net. "Huzzah!" cried Frederick. It was a good day at the Brittle House Health Spa. Meanwhile, Jason Jones, songwriter and lead bassoonist for the punk band Rancid Paperclip, just barely made his train as it was leaving. He caught his breath and found a compartment with an attractive young woman. After Jason settled in, a staff member brought a serving cart by and knocked on the compartment's door. "Good morning. I'm Exposition Jim. Can I interest you in something?" They both ordered tea and biscuits. Exposition Jim asked, "Would you like an exposition dump to go with that?" "Yes, please," said Judy. "Very well, ma'am, or I should say Judy Peters and Jason Jones. As you know, Judy, you are on your way to meet your Aunt Harris, whom you've never met before, but she sent you a letter you took as an invitation. Your Aunt Harris, as you know, ran a brothel before the war, but when it was bombed, she fled to Finland and married eccentric scientist Dr. Christian Storm. Together, they opened Brittle House Health Spa to cure all ills." Jason exclaimed, "That's where I'm going." Exposition Jim smiled. "Yes, Jason Jones, I was getting to that." He pointed to the advertisement Jason held for the Brittle House Health Spa. "That is the advertisement for the Brittle House Health Spa, where you just happened to be headed." Jason smiled back. Exposition Jim continued, "Unfortunately, your band, Rancid Paperclip, recently broke up after a big argument, and you needed to get away for a bit. That's when you saw the health spa advertisement for young murder victims. And now that you've met Judy Peters on this train, my work here is done. Have a lovely ride." Exposition Jim tipped his pork pie hat and was off. Jason and Judy finished their tea and snacks, and soon the train arrived at the station. Jason and Judy stepped off the train onto the desolate platform. "Hopefully Aunt Harris's car will pick us up soon." They waited, but no car came. After a while, Jason and Judy decided to walk and asked the station attendant for directions. "Excuse me, sir, which way to Brittle House Spa?"
"Are you guests? I'll call for a ride,"
growled the station attendant. "Thank you so much," said Jason and stepped outside. The attendant called Brittle House.
"Yes, you have two here. Send a ride."
Minutes later, as Jason and Judy settled in for a lovely warm afternoon, two motorcyclists pulled up wearing regular crash helmets.
"Are you going to the Brittle House Spa?"
One asked through her regular crash helmet. "Yes, please."
"Hop on! Music?"
asked the second motorcyclist through his regular crash helmet. At that, Jason's face lit up. "Yes, please. I love music. I'm a musician." The second motorcyclist smiled. Maybe. It was hard to tell through his regular crash helmet.
"What do you like to listen to?"
Jason thought for a minute, then asked, "Do you have any Daft Punk?" Well, at the words Daft Punk, the motorcyclists flew into a rage and started beating the crap out of Jason. It was only when Judy pled for them to stop that they lit up. Jason coughed. "What the hell? What was that for?" The female motorcyclist said,
"You think this is funny, to throw our cousins in our faces?"
Judy asked, "What are you talking about?" More controlled, the female motorcyclist explained.
"Daft Punk, the 90s French electronic music duo, is our cousins. But we do not get along. My brother and I were born with these."
She pointed to their helmets.
"These regular crash helmets."
Jason asked, "What's wrong with that?"
"Nothing, but our cousins Daft Punk. They were born from our aunt's womb with the beautiful, fancy helmets. We lived our childhoods in their shadows, all because of their fancy helmets. Although they were never mean to us, you could tell they felt superior."
Judy took the female motorcyclist's arm. "Well, there must be more to life than what helmet you were born wearing."
"This is true, for we have one skill our cousins Daft Punk do not."
Jason smiled. "See, what's your skill?" She pointed to her motorcycle.
"Taking unsuspecting victims to the health spa to be tortured and murdered."
Jason clapped his hands. "Well, there you go. There's the positive can-do attitude." Feeling better, they all hopped on the motorcycles and left for Brittle House Health Spa. Brittle House Health Spa was a large, imposing mansion set off in the woods. Upon arriving, the riders thanked Jason and Judy for their support and carried their belongings up to Frederick, Dr. Storm's assistant. "Welcome to the Brittle House Health Spa. Let's get you checked in." Frederick led them to the front desk, where a dour older woman met them. "What are you two doing here?" she demanded of the two. Jason showed her the spa advertisement. I would like to stay for a few days." The woman sneered. "Do you two have a reservation?" Jason looked down. "The advertisement said nothing about a reservation." "Well, I'm afraid we're almost out of rooms for you and your wife." Jason and Judy looked at each other and laughed, but there was also a will they or won't they sort of tension. Oh, but they will, dear listener. They totally will. Just wait. Judy tried explaining. "I'm sorry. There must be some misunderstanding. We met on the train, but we're not together that way. I'm Judy Peters, and I'm here to see my aunt, Aunt Harris." The woman's eyebrows raised. "Judy Peters? I'm your Aunt Harris. What are you doing here?" "Well, I got your invitation." Judy pulled the letter out of her purse and read it out loud. "Dear Judy, I am your Aunt Harris, whom you've never met before. I am only telling you about Brittle House Health Spa because I don't want you to ever come here, even though we have the best faucets, because we only buy Kohler. But if you step so much as 1 foot on spa property, you will be in mortal danger. Never come here. Cordially, Aunt Harris. P.S. Never, ever, never even think of coming here, ever. P.P.S. Destroy this letter at once. Under no circumstances should you bring this letter to Brittle House Spa and read it to me." Aunt Harris sighed. "Well, since you were here, we only have 1 room left." "1 room for the both of us?" Jason and Judy looked at each other and blushed, although we have totally established they are going to have sex. "Yes, but it's a large room. I'm sure the 2 of you can make accommodations." Aunt Harris smirked, in that creepy way elderly relatives smirk when talking about sex at your high school graduation party. Frederick led them to their room, a pale young man with a large surgical scar down his left forehead passed them. Jason saw a guest room with a bed covered in blood. Frederick also noticed the bloody bed. "Oh yeah, I hope you were tidier than our other murdered guests." Finally, they reached their room. "Please freshen up before dinner," said Frederick with a mischievous grin and shut the door. The room was quite large, with a canopy bed and a bathroom with a shower. The decor was dark and gloomy, but one thing that wasn't gloomy was the sink. That's because the faucet was from Kohler's Artifacts line of bathroom sink faucets. The Artifact line not only captures turn-of-the-century charm with elegant details that never go out of style, but you can also mix and match spouts and handles for a design that is right for you. Shop Kohler. Judy admired the bathroom faucet and asked, "How long are you planning on staying?" Jason plopped onto the bed. "Oh, probably a week or so. I really need to relax. How about you?" "At first I thought about a week or so, but now I'm wondering if Aunt Harris didn't want me here at all. And this place is so big and creepy. Oh, I just want to leave. But since I'm here and feeling vulnerable and unsafe, I'll take a shower." "Groovy, let's shower," said Jason, pulling off his shirt, but Judy held up her hand. "I am taking a shower, not we." And she walked into the bathroom and closed the door. While showering, Judy couldn't help but feel under pressure, but the good kind. That was because Judy was showering with the Kohler Premise round combo showerhead. Don't let its luxurious design fool you. Kohler's Premise round combo showerhead also provides the superior spray coverage you yearn for in a soothing hot shower. Shop Kohler. Judy stepped out of the steamy bathroom to find a steamy Jason lying in a steamy bed, all steamy naked. He pat the bed. There are other ways to relax besides showering with Kohler brand showerheads. Shop Kohler. Judy laughed and climbed in next to him. They were about to have the sex when the dinner bell rang.
Oh, I'm starving. Let's save the sex for dessert,
she said and kissed his nose. In the dining hall, several pale young men with surgical scars on their left foreheads sat like zombies at the dining table. One woman was set apart from the others by her rosy cheeks, lack of a surgical scar, and her t-shirt that read, "Next Victim." Jason and Judy took a seat.
So is the food good?
Judy asked, but received no reply. Aunt Harris entered the room along with the two motorcyclists in regular crash helmets. She sat at the end of the table and answered Judy.
The food is wonderful once you have the mind for it.
She pointed to the others.
They won't answer you, but trust me, our guests are all thrilled. As Dr. Storm says, that's what it's all about.
When the woman in the Next Victim shirt heard, "That's what it's all about," she screamed uncontrollably.
Take her out,
commanded Aunt Harris, and the two motorcyclists carried the kicking and screaming woman out. Judy whispered to Jason,
Did you see that? They just dragged her out without even asking if she wanted to order appetizers for the table.
Judy's eyes welled with tears, and she ran out. "Monsters, all of you!" Jason cried and followed after Judy. They returned to their room, and Judy flopped onto the bed.
Oh, Jason, I worry something horrible is going on.
Jason sat on the bed.
Oh, please don't worry, Judy. It will be okay. I will protect you. Here, let me get you a cool washcloth for your breasts.
Jason took a washcloth to the Kohler Artifacts sink faucet and turned it on. But instead of water, out came blood. Jason and Judy screamed. Then the door flew open, and Dr. Christian Storm rolled in his wheelchair inside and turned off the sink. "Please, settle yourselves. These old pipes can sometimes pick up harmless rust or murder victim blood. Here, take this and clean up with your left hand." He tossed a towel to Jason, who grabbed it with his left hand. Dr. Storm grinned. "Good. Very good." Judy shot up.
I don't care. I want to leave now.
"I'm afraid that's impossible. The grounds are closed, but you may leave in the morning if you so wish. Stay in your room, and you will be safe. Put your left foot in, as they say."
This place is scaring me.
Dr. Storm backed his wheelchair out.
"If it will help you rest easy, I'll post a motorcyclist in a regular crash helmet to guard your door. Just don't mention Daft Punk. They hate that."
In the dark, Judy clung to Jason.
Oh, Jason, what do you think he's doing to those poor people?
Jason stroked her hair. He seems to have him under his control. Some sort of mind control. Of the mind. But I won't let him hurt you. Jason and Judy looked at each other, then kissed tenderly. Dear listener, you are in for a treat. We at Chicken Fried Horror are proud to present the following scene, and not just any kind of scene, but an erotic sex scene. Now, you may be asking, a sex scene in podcasting? Sure, they're all over TV and movies, but in podcasting? Is that even possible? And our answer is yes and. Yes, it is possible to do, and getting the rights to use the original recording of Unchained Melody by the Righteous Brothers is nearly impossible for a small-budget studio like ours. But our writing team insists that only Unchained Melody is the right song for your listening experience, so we came up with a workaround. For the following passionate and erotic sex scene, instead of the Righteous Brothers, our very own studio actor, Grandpa Old Timey, will sing Unchained Melody. Now, open the windows and turn on the ceiling fan, because this scene is smoking hot. In the dark, Judy clung to Jason. Oh, Jason, what do you think he's doing to those poor people? Jason stroked her hair. He seems to have him under his control. Some sort of mind control of the mind. But I won't let him hurt you. Jason and Judy looked at each other, then kissed tenderly. I want to make passionate love to you. Yes, oh yes, make love to me, Jason. Let's make passionate love using our front butts.
Oh, my love, my darling, it's Grandpa Old Time, old timey, old timey.
Ember, you have to sing it the right way.
What do you mean I have to sing it the right way?
How about we start over?
How about we start over? How about this? How about I kick your ass? Get over here.
The next morning, Jason awoke to a woman screaming outside. He dashed to the window. In the courtyard, the young woman in the Next Victim t-shirt from dinner wore a bloodied head bandage. She ran from the Stretch AMC gremlin, and when the car closed in on her, out came a large blade and burlap net. The car sped up and swerved next to the woman, and the razor-sharp blade sliced through her neck, and her head fell into the burlap net. Jason almost threw up at the sight. He called out, Judy, Judy, we have to get out of here. The room was silent. Judy was missing. Frederick entered the room with a breakfast tray. Jason grabbed Frederick and twisted his arm. Where is she? What have you done with Judy? Frederick squirmed. She is fine. She's on the lower level with the other experiments. Take me to her. Please let go. You're hurting me. Eat your breakfast first, and then I'm to take you to the lower level, and you can see Judy. Jason loosened his grip. How do I know I can trust you? Frederick whispered. I am just as much a prisoner as you are, but we cannot talk here. Jason and Frederick later arrived at the Health Spa's gymnasium, where all the young zombie-like people were stretching, lifting weights, and doing push-ups. Dr. Storm drank Sanka, watched the activities, and smiled when Jason entered.
Fitness is very important to my plan. These young people are under my control. Please, come over here and stand to my right.
Jason walked over to Dr. Storm's right side.
Good. Very good.
Then he clapped his hands.
Everyone, places. Now observe the majesty of science.
The group started off okay, but soon half of them were getting the hokey pokey all wrong. They either used their legs instead of their arms instead of their legs, or mixed up their lefts and their rights.
You see, Jason, I have come so far. Nevertheless, it is not good enough. They are under my control, and they will obey my orders. But for the hokey pokey, I've written L's and R's on their socks and everything.
Jason rubbed his temples and asked, "What's your deal with the hokey pokey?"
Dr. Storm sneered. When I was just a young lad in my home country of Kentucky-vania, our village had a yearly hokey pokey competition for the youngsters. Like everything in Kentucky-vania, we were graded harshly on form, technique, and presentation. I had come of age for the hokey pokey competition and practiced my wee little heart out. I had to, for my parents had won the competition in their childhood, and their parents before them, and their parents before them. Our family's place in proper society depended on my winning the hokey pokey competition. And as much as I practiced, and as hard as I tried at the competition, I could not overcome my shame from birth, for I was born with these.
With an anguished cry, he yanked the blanket off his legs to show his feet, his 2 left feet.
How can you shake your right foot all about when you have 2 left ones? You can't. It's impossible.
Dr. Storm threw his Sanka at the wall in rage, then took a minute and composed himself.
I came in last place. My family became outcasts. Sure, I could have let my loss get to me, drag me down into madness and despair, but instead I dedicated every day of my life to perfecting the hokey pokey through mind puppets, to one day return to my village and show everyone what a successful hokey poker I had become.
Jason shouted, "You're mad!"
Mad? Mad? Would a madman devote his life to creating an army of human puppets to avenge one embarrassing elementary school experience?
Jason looked down at the floor. "Sorry, no, I suppose not." Then Judy screamed from a nearby cage, "Jason, help! I'm in a nearby cage!" Jason ran to her, but the cage was locked. Jason screamed at Dr. Storm, "Let her out, you bastard!" Dr. Storm laughed evilly.
You cannot escape. You saw what happens if you try. Judy is next, then you.
No, never. I'll save all of us. Jason leapt bravely over a desk, tripped, fell down, and was immediately caught by the guards. The guards threw Jason into a locked dungeon with no escape. A few hours later, Frederick brought a lunch tray with a sandwich and a juice box. Thirsty, Jason drank down the juice box quickly. While he ate his sandwich, Jason asked Frederick what he meant earlier about being a prisoner.
No time for that now, but I'll help you escape. I spiked the juice box with the sleeping powder for the guard. The guard will pass out any moment now, and you can escape.
Jason asked, "Which juice box?"
Well, shit.
That evening, Frederick returned to the dungeon, this time carrying some sort of pudding dish and no juice box. Jason wolfed down the pudding dish. Frederick took a seat and polished the serving tray, quite proud of himself.
Not to brag, but this time my plan will work. I made sure to give the juice box to the guard.
Good job, Jason said between bites.
Frederick smiled, and as an extra precaution, I drugged the pudding dish instead of the juice box. Well, shit.
In the middle of the night, Frederick returned, this time with Aunt Harris. Frederick saw Jason's nervous look and said,
"It's okay. She's on our side."
"It's true. I was young and foolish when I married Christopher. His obsession with mind puppets and hokey pokey has gone too far. I will help you escape, but on one condition, that you promise to get my niece Judy out safely. Will you do that?"
Jason nodded. "Of course, Aunt Harris. I promise."
"Then you and Frederick go. Hurry. I've relieved the guards of their duties for the time being, but they will be back."
"Well, what about you?"
Aunt Harris shook her head.
"I must destroy the laboratory and surgical suite. Everything must be destroyed. We can't risk this story having a sequel."
She ran off. Jason and Frederick made it to the locked cage.
"I have the keys,"
panted Frederick, and soon Judy was freed and they ran towards the exit. But their path was blocked by an army of knife-wielding mind puppets. Jason jumped in front of Judy and Frederick and put out his hands.
"Hey, easy there. Easy. We just want to leave. I don't want to hurt any of you."
His words had no effect, and the mind puppets rushed forward with deadly speed. But just before reaching our heroes, a loud explosion came from the laboratory. The mind puppets screamed in agony. Their eyes rolled up, and they fell over, dead.
"Aunt Harris must have destroyed the lab. We have to go. I promised I would get you out of here."
They ran to escape with explosions going off all willy-nilly. They made it to the main door, and it was blocked by Dr. Storm.
"You'll never catch me,"
he cried, then wheeled out the door. Judy yelled, "He's getting away!" Frederick tossed his keys to Jason.
"No, he isn't. You drive."
The three jumped into the AMC Gremlin and chased after Dr. Storm. As fast as he was, he could not outrun the high performance of an AMC Gremlin. The car sped up and swerved next to Dr. Storm, and the razor-sharp blade sliced through his neck, immediately lopping his head into the burlap sack. They climbed out of the car, and Frederick tossed the severed head into a nearby bog, which sunk into bubbling muck. Wait, wait, I need a ride, shouted a woman holding a large sack. Behind her, the large mansion was ablaze. Aunt Harris, shouted Judy and hugged her aunt. Thank goodness you survived. They jumped in the car and took off. As they drove off, Judy asked, Aunt Harris, what's in the large bag? Aunt Harris pulled out a luxurious bridge kitchen sink faucet. I couldn't leave something as precious as Kohler brand faucets in a burning mansion. Shop Kohler. Everyone laughed and laughed as they drove into the sunrise. The end. Next week's episode is not based on a horror story, and instead you will be treated to an original historical romance titled, that's right, you guessed it, Pickleball. Until next time, be sure to play nice with others, be super duper kind to yourself, and as always, remember to laugh. Bye. This episode was created and performed by Ken McCann. This is a Discount Storytime production.